queer, fat, mannish, Jewish woman from Philadelphia. And, you know, that is the building blocks of things that make me awesome. But surprise, it also comes with some baggage, right? I might be hard to get along with at some points. Just might. And, you know, through my life, I have dated so many amazing women and love them, but the undercurrent of like bickering and fighting was like part of all those relationships. And I just figured that was just my lot, being a queer, fat, mannish Jewish woman from Philadelphia. You know, I hoped for more, and in July, I actually met this woman, and we started dating, and she's just great. Yeah, right? She's just really smart, and really foxy, and really fun, and really funny, and she is so chill. So chill. So, like, no bickering, no fighting. I've never had this in my life. In fact, it makes me really nervous being a Jewish person. I actually could do this prompt. It's superstitious. So, you know, I believe in the evil eye. So I'm gonna say this word, it's Yiddish, and it means go away, evil eye. So if you wanna say it with me, it's kinahara. Ready? Kinahara. Thank you. So yeah, so then we had a recent like milestone moment. It was Thanksgiving, and I was honored that she invited me to join her at her friend's house. And it was like gonna be her friend's wife, and the friend's parents were coming in from the Midwest, and I was excited for it. So on Thanksgiving, she comes over to make some food, and you know, I've got the fire roaring, the music playing, cocktails pouring, and I made this kind of like cheese plate of oozy French cheese. This shit was cute. We are having a great day, right? And then it's like time to get dressed and go, and I go upstairs and I put on my dinner attire, which basically looks something like this, right? And I come downstairs and she looks at me and she's just like, "You look so cute." And just like the way she said it, it was like honey just falling off the hive. Like, have you ever had someone look at you that way? It makes your marrow melt, right? So I was feeling really good, and we get in the car, and we're heading to St. John's from Hollywood, where I live. And about midway in this drive, I start getting this pain in my stomach. It's like not a pain I was familiar with, so that was concerning. And I'm like, "Hey, I need to let you know, I'm starting to have this weird stomach thing." And she's like, "Okay, how can I help?" I'm like, "Just be aware." And she's like, "Okay." So we pull up, I park, and like almost as immediately as I pull up the parking brake, a wave of nausea just takes over me, and I like open the door, and I carefully run in front of the car because I don't want her to see me, and I just like vomit all over the streets of St. John's. And I'm like, I'm looking up because it's like a 50-50 chance that there's gonna be a family in the house right in front of us eating Thanksgiving, being like, luckily, it was empty. So I get back in the car, and she's like, "So do you think that's a one-off, or?" And I'm like, "I don't know." And then she kind of pauses, and she's like, "Do you think you're nervous?" And I'm like, "You know, that's a good question, because many people might be nervous in this situation. But number one, I haven't vomited in like 20 years, and I love meeting people's parents from the Midwest. So that's a no." So we wait a little bit, and then, nope, sure enough, the wave of nausea comes again. I run, get in the front of the car, and just spew all over the street. And I come back, and I'm like, "You know, I don't think I can go in there." And she's like, "Yeah, I don't think you can either." And I was like, "Why don't you bring the food and explain what happened, and then we'll just try to get me home." And she's like, "Okay." So she goes in the house, and then I'm leaving me sitting there, and I'm like, "Oh no, the chill is gone. This is like not good." And you know, I also was like, I just had the honey from the hive look, and this could not be any more unattractive. No. And so unfortunately then I failed to time the next vomit-thon, and basically just get out enough to open the car door, and I'm like, and then I look up, and she's like right there. with a can of ginger ale that the Midwest mom had placed in her hand, which was very sweet. Yeah. So then, thus began, she's like, move over, I'll drive. Thus began the worst commute of my life. Every 5 minutes, I was like, pull over, pull over, pull over in front of an empty house, only an empty house. And I just didn't want to ruin anyone's Thanksgiving. And I am so sorry to St. John's. I did vomit all over the sidewalks, streets, and fairways of St. John's. But we get back to the house finally, and I'm like, I just need to get into bed. And she's like, yes, and she pours the ginger ale. And I get into bed, and she kind of crawls into bed next to me with her clothes on and cuddles me and makes me feel okay. And I go to sleep and wake up. And I was pretty prepared to like have to hold her hair back over the toilet because I thought I had a stomach virus. But what ends up happening, we didn't have food poisoning. It wasn't a stomach virus. And my gallbladder is wonky. Yeah, it's okay, I'll survive. But, you know, it was the first Thanksgiving in my life that I didn't have like a turkey with all the trimmings. But, you know, I felt very thankful I had met this person and she was next to me. So, Kinahora.